Command, this is Neighborhood Watch. We are in position. Tracking monitors are locked on. We are going to visual recon.
Roger that, TCW. We have confirmation.
Launch code confirmed. Alpha Zulu 689er standing by.
Laser targeting. Locked on.
Mr. President, if you wish to deploy, the time is now.
Mr. President.
Deploy.
That's a go. Alpha Zulu 689er, that is a go.
Here we go.
It's on target. Approaching.
May our children forgive us.
5 seconds to impact. 3, 2,
1.
Oh, yeah! To hit!
We got the bastards.
Good job, everyone. Congratulations.
Commander, do you have visual? I repeat, we need visual confirmation. Has the target been destroyed?
Negative.
Fuck it.
You're listening to Dogsh FM. Well, my friend, the day has come. No, not that one, or even that one. Yes, the movie starring two chicks from two shows nobody gave a fuck about in the first place, and the most despised character in the MCU, played by one of the most despised actors in Hollywood, has at long last driven the Disney Marvel boat through the sea mine-filled ocean of Phase 4 and 5 and directly into the radioactive iceberg that is Captain the Marvels 2. One of the most sarcastically anticipated movies in recent memory that has stumbled in like an Irishman at Oktoberfest past the tribulations of repeated postponement, Apocalypse Now-style infighting, a director that was so disgusted that she went to go make a movie with Tessa Thompson after giving her a token cameo, and so much more hilarity at long last into our largely empty local theaters. So what was the result of so much build-up?
Crap. Pure, unadulterated crap.
As if there was ever any doubt, the coveted brown jewel of post-Endgame Marvel has lived mostly up to its expectations of mediocrity in a mercifully brief runtime of scenes that range in tone from average cringe to hyper Guantanamo double dog whammy cringe. The Marvels begins its 88-minute unmanaged fire hose of a plot with our designated female incarnation of a past villain, Ben, digging up the other space-time machine bangle from that Miss Marvel show you never watched, before we get a cartoonishly stupid life update on Miss Marvel from that Miss Marvel show you never watched. She needs the non-Cincinnati bangle to make a super bullshit weapon called the Universal Weapon.
You serious?
Yeah, but it gets dumber. The bangle is ripping a hole in time and space, so Nick Fury, fresh off being cucked by his Skrull wife, dispatches a team to go investigate it.
Something very familiar about all this.
Yeah, I swear I've seen this before somewhere in something far better. Anyway, we get a Captain Marvel flashback sequence in case you weren't lucky enough to be like the formerly titular character and have your memory of the previous film wiped. From here, we are introduced to the central plot mechanism of the film, wherein Captain Marvel, Monica Rochambeau, and Miss Marvel change places every time they use their powers. Monica gets thrown onto the moon landing set, Captain Marvel goes to Miss Marvel's serial killer shrine to her, and Kamala Khan goes to space and runs into Nick Fury, who asks the question we all want to know by asking who the hell she is.
Who the fuck are you?
The brown girls from Jersey City.
They each fight each other's enemies in a scene full of TikTok editing, TikTok music, and D-plus Star Wars show level fight choreography, all common themes in this movie. Then, after fucking up Kamala's house, Fury and Monica show up to try and explain what the hell is going on and lay out what can loosely be understood as the plot of the movie, and a long-awaited explanation of the three leads' power sets. However, as the writers probably gave up at this point, they can only be described as light-based powers, saying like, yeah, I kind of have this thing where I can like harness light to do this thing where I make light, and mine makes a light wall of like light sugar.
This doesn't make any sense.
No, not really. Nor does the following scene where Captain Marvel flies toward space, knowing that using her powers will result in her changing places with Kamala, and she can't fly, resulting in exactly that happening, where Monica must save her now by learning to fly on the spot because the plot needs it, and woman, and utilizing her black girl magic.
They fly now? They fly now! Get the fuck out of here.
Then, feeling like the movie might be going off the rails just a bit, the Bifrost opens next to their ship full of Skrull refugees, and out steps King Valkyrie, electing to leave her non-existent acting talents behind in New Asgard, while she says words and fucks off back to Taika Waititi's bedroom in under 1 minute. What little bit of our villain's backstory comes next in a flashback where Captain Marvel, or Annihilator as she's called, of Kree and Disney stock prices, is seen as an intergalactic Bin Laden, once again making our alleged hero actually the villain. The three heroes, now on Carol's ship, go through several costume changes and discuss how stupidly each of them got their powers, and I gotta say, them being blunt about it is pretty hilarious though, like most things in Marvel now, unintentionally. The Marvels, as Kamala now calls them, practice their switching by dicking around with jump ropes for 5 minutes and are now perfectly war-ready. But before war, we have likely the dumbest scene in Marvel since the She-Hulk twerking atrocity, in a minutes-long musical sequence where they visit a planet that Carol is a princess of, where they communicate by song and talking normally is considered bilingual. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, after that's done, believe it or not, they kept writing after this, and we go to our third act battle with the obligatory sky portal and faceless CGI army, all while back on the space station, a bunch of alien eggs are randomly popping up and hatching Flurkin cats because why the fuck not? Half of the escape pods have been disabled and there's too many people, so they decide the best way to save the space station is to have the Flurkin eat the entire crew and put them on escape pods, because they usually puke humans back up. Usually. Then at long last, in this 4-hour movie in 88 minutes, we get the final battle where it turns out it was yet another misunderstood female villain, so they decide to help her, but she instantly keeps fighting them, because she's obviously smarter than the armadillo after 8 lanes of traffic level intellect of our main characters, and she gets the bangles and becomes just as stupid and blows herself up by using them. Then, at even longer last, the hero of the movie, Monica Rochambeau, goes all Heimdall's son from Thor Love and Thunder, and yes, I mean the CGI, and sacrifices herself to fix the time rift. She's gone, and Kamala repays her by moving her family into her childhood home, but not before squeezing in one last token cameo from Kate Bishop and a ham-fisted tease at the young all-female Avengers that will make its debut in... Lastly, the post-credit scene goes even further in tokenization with a Kelsey Grammer Beast cameo, where he mentions Professor X to make you ooh and ah and stay tuned and skippity freaking.
Fuck you, Jack!
From the disturbingly embarrassing Endgame-centric trailers to the weak teaser, the Captain of the Marvels 2 was always going to be the guy nobody invited, showing up to the party at 4 a.m. when everyone's drunk and tired, and had a chance to pull the parlor trick of being the most hilariously horrific Marvel film yet. And while it can still certainly vie for that title, the 40-plus minutes of deleted mega hyper cringe that was Jenga'd out of the final cut keep the movie in competition with disasters like Eternals and Quantumania, but fail to run away with the title. Only a movie like The Marvels could build so much hype around its mediocrity that it built legit anticipation, only to have it squandered by its boring mediocrity. In regards to the plot, there's little to talk about because little exists, and the only mechanics, like the switching, that are established are ignored whenever convenient. They switch every time they use their powers, except when they don't want to. Okay. Miss Marvel surprisingly ends up being the most likable of the three, even though she is annoying at times. Monica Rochambeau gives a table read performance, but has funny moments when she indirectly calls out how dumb the plot is. Funny for the hero of the movie. Samuel L. Jackson's in this movie, but the worst of all is the formerly coveted heir to the Marvel throne in Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, who, for an Oscar-winning actress, turns in an acting performance of a wife caught in bed with the FedEx guy and a pre-lit cigarette.
Character, but very much in the dark, 'cause there was no script to read. There wasn't even It wasn't all fleshed out yet with the Captain Marvel.
But the abysmal effort stretched well beyond the acting and into the creative side, where director Nia DaCosta, who left mid-production to make a worse movie with King Valkyrie, and her team provide a plethora of jarring camera work, remedial editing, and most embarrassing, 80s-style CGI to further sink any hope for the movie to the depths of She-Hulk and the first Captain Marvel movie. As almost as predictable as the loosely defined plot was the entirely predictable delusional as the Japanese Empire soldier in the 70s shilling by Twitter bots and the spineless yokels like IGN and Rotten Tomatoes. Truly an amazing sight to see in the late fall of the Empire, but even the most hopelessly loyal soldiers have their breaking point, even if they have no shame. 1 out of 10. The Marvels isn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but the praise doesn't extend from there, other than perhaps its brief runtime. In an MCU dominated by dogshit content that has effectively killed its appeal long ago, The Marvels, despite delays, isn't dogshit left over from a bygone era, but judging by the decision not to Batwoman it and use token cameos to prop up an ambiguous future, nothing more than the suicidal act of adding more dogshit for good measure. Fucking like and subscribe for duck's sake.
The Duke.